Alrighty, and welcome back. That was Aijin Running. That was an original mix there. I hope you're enjoying the VentShow today. I'm your host, Andy Sharp. We're talking about kids and kids acting out, the temper tantrums they throw, and what the experts kind of suggest you're supposed to do to deal with that. Hey, I guess everyone's tried a little bit of everything. You try to bribe them. Does that ever work for you? You ever bribe the kid? Like, hey, I'll buy you some ice cream if you act right. I mean, you really think that works? It might. I guess I don't know if it's a bribe. I've tried it with the kids, and they act well, so I don't have to really bribe them. But you wonder if these kids are just like, oh, I'm gonna sucker them out of everything. I'll get a T-bone steak. I'll get a lobster dinner out of them. The kids are into lobster dinners, but I'm sure they can get 6 pounds of candy by the time they get out of there. Just keep that kid quiet. But I'll tell you what, the biggest thing that I've noticed that and I don't know how any self-respecting parent can do it, is when they put these children on a leash. I mean, you've seen these, right? Now, I don't know if it's what, there must be some nice soft name for it, and I'm sure if I looked up on the internet, I could figure it out. But how about whatever this leash is, this thing that goes around them, where they keep them on a leash? I mean, what the hell are you doing? I mean, if it's that bad, then you need to reevaluate a lot of what you've done up to that point. A leash, your kid's on a leash. Wow. Yeah, so if all that stuff doesn't work, I mean, if the leash doesn't work and bribing them doesn't work and talking to them like a reasonable person doesn't work, I mean, how far are you willing to go with this? I mean, what do you do as far as punishment? I saw a good video on social media the other day, maybe about a month ago, where the father, daughter started throwing a temper tantrum. The girl's probably about, maybe 6, 7 years old. He took her out to the car. He set it on the hood of the car and let her get it out. Let her vent it out, right? That's what we all need to do, is just vent. He vented it out and he let her know that, hey, that's not what we're going to do in there. I think it's a great example. It's something you could probably find on there. If I can locate it, I'll post it on the Facebook page. But that's one way of handling it. I think that's a reasonable way to handle it with them. Give them an opportunity to kind of be in control of the decisions. Let them know that the decisions do have consequences. That's an important thing now. We need to let these kids know that the decisions have consequences. Oftentimes, they're not faced with any consequences. So when they make a bad decision, they think somebody's going to come in and clean it up for them, take care of it for them, or there's not going to be any negative repercussions from bad decisions. So we need to make sure the kids understand that there are consequences, right? Consequences can come in all forms. And I guess that's what they call being a parent, and what we need to do to challenge that and challenge them into thinking about making bad decisions. But hey, you know what? I'll tell you, how far would you go to punish a child? I've seen videos where these kids are acting up. These, again, we're talking about older kids. They're not acting right and all this stuff. And hey, you know what? Parents grab that PS4 or that game console or whatever it is, and you know what? It's 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth, full count, and here comes a fastball, and they smack that crap into a million bits. You think that works? You think that sends a message to them? You think that hits home with them? Have you ever tried that? Does it work? Can't say I've ever been to that point. I don't know if it's actually ever happened to me, but I'm curious to find out. Like, was that a turning point? I mean, we're in a fight for these kids' lives out here. Because if we're not fighting for their lives, there's going to be repercussions. If we're not the parents, and we're not the adults and the mentors that we need to be for these kids, we're going to see things like we're seeing on the news. We're going to see these tragedies and these life-changing mistakes that involve many lives. And we're not just talking about crashing the car into a tree, okay, or having a few beers. We know what we're talking about. And that's why we need to have these conversations. We need to put this conversation on the table, because we need to get back to discipline. Now, if that's corporal punishment for some people, that's not something I can personally endorse. I think people need to make their own decisions. I can't tell you that I have experienced corporal punishment as a child. And I can tell you that I think that's probably why I'm not dead or in jail. Okay? That's my personal experience. Now, of course, corporal punishment is frowned upon in many states and many jurisdictions. In fact, parents are often arrested, for trying to discipline their child in a manner that some judge or some lawmaker doesn't feel is appropriate. But we're in the fight. And it's either we do what we can and what we must do to discipline these children and show them the right way in a positive manner. But again, it starts at the beginning. It starts with the consistency that we need to be as leaders, as parents, and influencing these children's lives. We can't take weeks off. We can't take days off. We have to think about all things and the way we act in public and conduct ourselves and how the children will react to that. So I challenge you to look around and think of the things that we can do to be positive and influence children. I know sometimes I speak to groups of children, mostly in school, of course, and one thing I always want to make sure children know is that they're loved. That they're loved. Okay? Now, whatever situation they go to when they go back home might not be the greatest, right? We know that. But let them know that that their parents and the teachers and the mentors in their life are there to support them and to help them. That doesn't mean all these parents and mentors are going to be what they need to be and who they need to be when they need to be. But we need to put positivity into these kids' minds. We need to take the feeling of hopelessness away from them. Because that's what we're seeing on the news. That's what we're feeling sometimes in our communities. And that shit's got to stop. So stand with me. Give me your feedback on this. This is the Vent Show. This is Andy Sharp. Please reach out to us. We're on Facebook, Vent Show. You can tweet us, Vent_show. Email us, ventshow@yahoo.com or realventshow@gmail.com. We're getting the website together. Hope to share that with you so we can have everything in one place. Again, visit us on the Facebook page. We are on the Spreaker platform. That's SPREAKER platform. We ask you to reach out to us there. Like us, share us. We need listeners. We need followers. There may be a place for donations. I'm not looking for donations per se. Anything would help keep this show running. This is a passion. The purpose of this show is to give people an outlet. It's to give people a small piece of perhaps a larger support system that I hope you have. We all need a support system. Okay? So make this part of your routine. Make this part of your support system. Even if you just listen. Hopefully you get some valuable information, some opinions that might not be your own, but may give you a little bit of insight. And that's why I need your input. I need your feedback as listeners. So anybody listening to this, please like us. If you can share us or subscribe, that's what we need. We're on YouTube as well. Just search Vent Show to listen to the episodes that we have on there. We need your support. This is the ultimate goal of this channel here. And this podcast would be to give people that opportunity, but at the same time provide direction and resources and let people know that you are heard, that we will listen, and we will share resources in any way we can, whether it's mental health, addiction, bullying, you name it. We want to provide you with positivity. We need to clear out this emotional garbage and move in a positive manner forward. Remember, you can only fault so long. You must take control of your feelings. That's your responsibility. You are responsible for your feelings and the way you handle them. The Vent Show is here to help. This is Andy Sharp. We'll be back. We'll play another tune, and we're going to wrap it up. Thank you. Welcome back to the Vent Show. This is Andy Sharp. Thank you for listening. I hope you are following along in our conversation. Today we're talking about general parenting. We start off with some general advice about throwing temper tantrums, bringing kids in public, and now we're just talking about how to make that positive and to bring it home and our responsibility as adults and mentors in these kids' lives. Even if we don't have kids, right? We know kids are watching, and they're watching the way we act. So if you're going to that ball game and you're getting drunk off your ass in a family section, then you're an asshole. Don't do that shit. Okay? If you're out in public and you want to start shit with somebody, just think about it. Think about the influence you're going to have on those kids. If not for anybody else, do it for the kids. In my opinion, kids are the only one of us on this earth without sin. Truly. We must protect the children at all costs. If we don't, then we're just human pieces of shit. All right, let's be positive here. We're going to kick into another song. This one is positive. It's by Josh. It's called Sunshine. We all need sunshine in our lives. So thank you for listening to The Vent Show. This is Andy Sharp. Okay, welcome back to the Vent Show. This is Andy Sharp. You were just listening to Josh. The name of that track is Sunshine. So, we're getting towards the end of our show.